sure I couldn't resist. Now that I'm not stuck at the desk for live Irish myths. The sea was calling. Haven't been out here in months. Inber Colpa, where the Boyne meets the Irish Sea. I can only describe it as a superbly grey evening. It is overcast, mild, breezy. The riverbank is packed with anglers. I presume they're fishing for salmon. I wouldn't be 100% sure, not being an angler myself. So this is not live Irish myths. And I'm very glad for the freedom of getting away from the desk. I hope you don't mind. The other thing is that I've ordered a wind muffler mic for the phone. Hopefully that'll come in the next day or two, because I know that when I do these impromptu outdoor lives, the wind tends to cause a lot of noise on the microphone, so I've ordered a plug-in wind muffler microphone for doing these, so I'll bring that with me whenever I get it. Anyway, tell you a little something here. I won't talk too much, but so these walls were built in the 19th century, the bull walls, or the river walls, and this southern one, the one closest to us, according to Sir William Wilde, who was the keeper of the catalogue of the Royal Irish Academy, basically all the finds and all the treasures and bits and pieces that eventually made their way into the National Museum. And among those was the Tara brooch. And he says that the Tara brooch was found here when they were digging for the river wall here. And it was found in a box with several other items, a wooden box. So this is allegedly the location of the finding of the Tara brooch. The other location that's often given is Bettystown Beach, which is basically a couple of miles south of us here. So you can see the two locations are very close to each other. That brooch, by the way, whenever everything gets back to normal, if that ever happens, I know some of you don't want normality to come back, is in the National Museum in Kildare Street in Dublin, which is free to visit. An extraordinarily exquisite piece of work. And you'll hear the odd camera click because I have I actually brought the D3X and the 50mm lens. I've restricted myself tonight. I have two lenses, 50mm prime and a 28mm prime. That's all I brought. No zoom lenses tonight. Anyway, get up on the wall here. I'll be careful. I have to be careful. There's the Boyne, where many explorers and arrivers and departers came and went over the decades, the centuries, the millennia. The builders of the great passage mounds of the Boyne Valley in the Neolithic, Avergeen Glungyal and his pals, the Sons of Meal, arrived here. St. Patrick allegedly made his landing in Ireland. In this part of Ireland he landed at the Boyne estuary. And I would love if it was a real sunny evening. The sunshine is off out. The break under the clouds is out there. There's a band of cloud moving over Ireland northeastwards. It's not moving away as it moves northeastwards. It's just a long string of cloud. I think our friends over in Wales are probably experiencing a very nice evening. right now, and maybe our friends in Scotland and Mull. And the beach is busy. I mean, there are people everywhere, but that's probably because nobody's abroad, because there's no planes going anywhere. Well, very few, because of you know what. I love the beach. All those signs of life that have come and gone. The shells and the stones and the worn pieces of wood and detritus that has washed in with the tide. So no formal broadcast tonight, just an impromptu walk on the beach. Couldn't resist sharing it, you know. There's a ship out there waiting, probably waiting for high tide to come in to draw out of port. I'm sure you really can't blame people for coming out to the sea and breathing the fresh air, especially if people have been quarantined for a few months. Who could blame them? The Maiden Tower there in the distance. Who can blame them? We'll go down and listen to the roar of the sea. It's good for you. Very lucky. Like, Drogheda is about 4 miles in that direction, so it's maybe a little bit more, maybe 5. It's almost as easy and convenient to get to the sea as it is to get to the great mounds of Brunabonia from my house. But they say it's good for the mental health to be close to the noise of water, especially the sea, or if you live near a river or waterfalls. I hope that the wind against the microphone isn't too distracting. As I said near the beginning, I have ordered a wind muffler mic for the phone, and I did promise that in the absence of Live Irish Myths being daily, that I would try to do more impromptu live streams, because you seem to enjoy them, and especially for those who don't live in Ireland and who love it. Quite a lot of you who have been to Ireland have a great longing to come back, so we'll bring it to you for a while. It's a group of lads there playing football on the beach. Looks like great fun. Socially distancing, of course. And there's nobody down at the shore, look. We have it all to ourselves. Just me and 305 others. Andy says it's misty on the Isle of Mull. Yeah, I bet you any money it's sunny in Anglesey, because I can see the clear sky over there. But anyway, we're not jealous. There's nothing to be jealous about. When the sun shines in Ireland, it's the best land in all the world. No subjectivity there, huh? There's something about those clouds, they make a moody scene too. Yeah, it's a very shallow beach, Jacinta. Some of the beaches in this area are quite shallow, so you know, when the tide is out, the sea is quite a distance from the shore, and it comes in and out very, very quickly. Now, I brought a tiny little tripod for the phone. I'm going to put it right down at the edge of the water. Hopefully the phone won't get engulfed. This is as close as you're going to get. So I'm here at Mornington Beach, where the Boyne meets the Irish Sea. So just beyond that wall there, Inber Colpa is the ancient name of the estuary where the Boyne flows out into the sea. The meeting of the waters. Robin Edgar, you might be interested in hearing about Gobon or Govnew's father in mythology. Turvey, I think his name was Tuirbhe, Turva or Turvey, and he threw an axe onto the beach and told the sea that you shall not pass this axe. I don't know the meaning of the story, but it's in the Dunshanachas. Must be a calling there for us to maybe discuss that in a future live Irish Myths episode. I think this was a great idea. I just feel, I don't know, I have to express this, but I just feel so free right now compared to, you know, I've spent 103 evenings in the office or the library, And I'm very glad to do it. Of course I was. But this is exhilarating here right now. This is really, really lifting my spirits. Grace, do you want me to do my Gandalf impression? You shall not pass! Yeah. I'll keep quiet now for a few minutes. Make sure that the thing doesn't get knocked over. And so every single person or every single tribe or group of people who arrived in Ireland in prehistory came across this, came by sea. There's no other way. Ireland being surrounded by water, being an island, you can only get here by sea. Well, in modern times, of course, you can take the airplane, but we don't have any tunnels, for instance. You know, we don't have any, like the Channel Tunnel carries the railway between Britain and France. We don't have anything like that. So just down there along the coast is Bettystown, and beyond that, the seaside town of Balbriggan as well. See if I can show you. There's Bettystown there. The Old Irish is Bettystown, Betaghstown. Gormanston, Ben Head there in the distance. And then down along towards the towns of Balbriggan. And in the far distance, in the haze, Skerries, but not very visible today. And there are just the tiniest little breaks appearing in the cloud where we might, you never know, we might get a magical sunbeam before the sun goes down. And of course, it being St. John's Eve, which is the date upon which summer solstice or midsummer was celebrated down into the modern era. St. John's Eve, the eve of St. John the Baptist, 23rd of June. Bonfires were lit in rural parts of Ireland, all over the country, and great celebration. Some of the embers from the fires would be thrown into the fields as a good omen for the growth of crops. And there would be a lot of merrymaking and a lot of festivities. So you'll have heard quite often Japan referred to as the land of the rising sun. And of course here in Ireland, a very beautiful poetic description of Ireland given to it by the Milesian bard Abergine, who landed here in the Bronze Age, according to the annals, was the island of the setting sun. Two islands on the periphery of this enormous landmass that we call Eurasia, almost on the opposite side of the world to each other. The land of the rising sun and the island of the setting sun. The last land of Europe. Before the great untamed ocean that is the Atlantic. There's a number of individuals who've gone out into the sea to swim there. All I can say is they're hardier than I am. I'll be watching, not joining. we follow the trail back inland. Hello, Evan. Hi, Vicky. Hope Evan is enjoying himself. Yeah, I did see a spam message and I thought I blocked it. Maybe if some of you want to block it as well. If you see spam, block and report, or block or report, whatever the protocol is. Seems like a shame, doesn't it, to walk away from it then? You know, it's really funny, but get more viewers on the impromptu live streams than on the live Irish Myths, which is telling me something. Unannounced, unscripted, impromptu seems to be the best way to go. So when the tide's full in, you know, it comes all the way up to where I am and further. You know. Looking for a safe place that I can stand on some of the rocks, give you a view of the river, but I don't want to stand on rocks that have the seaweed on them because they'd be rather slippery. Here's one that has a fairly flat platform on it. Oh, did you see that? I don't know what kind of bird that is. He just dived down into the water. Let's see if we can keep up with him. Is that a lapwing? I'm not sure. So this is Inber Colpa is its ancient name. Mornington beach, where the Boyne River meets the Irish Sea, anciently called Inber Colpa. And just where I'm standing, somewhere along this wall, as I was saying a wee while ago, was where the Tara brooch was found in the middle of the 19th century. The beacons are there to mark out the deepest part of the channel for the ships heading into Drogheda port. cormorant. See, lads. Paul wants to know if everybody's invited for tea. Yeah, come on round to Chocorku. We'll put a big kettle. We could put a couple of kettles on. We'd all have a cup of tea, cup of brew, and a chat. And sure, if you fancy it, you know, we could nearly open a bottle of whiskey and sure, little dram each just to warm the bones. Hear the skylark. Don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, he's way up above the dunes here, singing his little heart out. I'll shut up for a minute. Hope you can hear him. That is one happy bird. I know how he feels. The shingle, look. All the detritus washed up. So many hues and colours and shapes And all the tiny pieces of shell. You'd want a good hard pair of feet on you to walk through that. Not sure if they're swallows. I don't think so, because I didn't see the fork in the tail. I'm not sure if they are swallows that just passed or whether they might be swifts or martins. There they are, look. Yeah, they're definitely not swallows. I think they might be swifts. But and it's just, look, there's some people on the dune over there. Look. If I can, they're in silhouette now because there's a bit of a gap opening up in the cloud there. There's a couple of dogs there as well. Hopefully get a beam of sun shining through the clouds before the sun sets. As you can see, there's a slight yellowing of the underbelly of the cloud going on here, which is usually a good sign. Oh, did you hear the curlew? Not sure if you can hear that, it's quite distant. So just over the river here on the northern side at Baltray, well, apart from the fact that the standing stones which are a little bit further up, there's a colony of little terns, and they nest there every year, and there's a group of volunteers who watch them around the clock to keep the predators away. And I believe this year the numbers are up, the numbers of eggs and hatchlings are up. So hats off to the volunteers on the Little Tern project at Baltray. Brilliant work that they're doing. Anyway, I hope you've been enjoying this impromptu walk on the beach at Inber Colpa. I think I could safely refer to it as Ireland's most historic river estuary. This is going to be careful walking here because the stones are bigger. Don't want to twist an ankle or anything like that. There she is, folks. The peaceful sea. Sorry. the peaceful river where it meets the sea. It's very calm, it's very flat this evening. Hardly a movement on it, hardly a wave. Forgive me for a moment while I change lenses and try and get a picture. Trying to reconnect, I reckon, because it's struggling with the signal there. Oh, there's a heron on the shore here, and a drone overhead. I'll show you the heron. Oh, he just got some supper there. Just a little bit closer. Fantastic. feel like a wildlife cinematographer here. Jacinta, yes, that is exactly Oliver Plunkett's head. St. Oliver Plunkett's head is kept in a glass box in St. Peter's Parish Church on West Street in Drogheda. Bit gory, some might say, but I reckon that's a remnant of a Neolithic practice, you know, keeping bones on display long after death, you know. And look, you may not just be able to see it, but just there the clouds are being lit up by a golden light. It looks like there's a few gaps appearing, perhaps not enough to give us a dramatic red sky. There's the Maiden Tower. It's story attached to that. That the maiden kept watch on her lover, who had gone off abroad out to sea on some sort of military or merchant expedition, and she was to watch out, and if there was a milky white banner raised from the mast of the ship, that meant he was coming home. The banner was hoisted from the mast, that would mean he wasn't coming home. Have to be careful here because of all the slippery bits. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed that. Not sure how long I've been broadcasting, but I've enjoyed it anyway. So I'm going to leave yous and love yous. And I was saying yesterday, yeah, I will try to do more impromptu live streams because I know you enjoy them. And I'm going to try and get out a bit more with the camera in the evenings. I also need to finish the editing of Island of the Setting Sun. On that subject, I had a quick chat with the publisher today, and he's hoping that we will send the book off to the printer in early July, and he's hoping that we'll have it back and available by the latest early August. Now, that is subject to a little bit of change, but I'll keep you posted. Don't forget, you can pre-order your 2020 edition of Island of the Setting Sun on mythicalireland.com. Yeah, Paul, episode 104. Yeah. Just make the graphic up when I go home and just say yeah. But no, I'll do more. I'll do more as I ramble around. Can't promise they'll be regular, but I'll try and do at least a couple a week, just to keep bringing you the lovely sights and sounds of Ireland. In the meantime, stay safe, everyone. Have a good evening. Have a good day, wherever you are in the world. And we'll talk to you very soon. Slán go fóill.